Ben McKee, Patrick Brown, Go Vols 24/7 here on campus following almost the first day of spring practice. Got to talk to new Tennessee football coaches, Darrell Sims, who's going to be the running backs coach, and we spoke about him in a separate video, so go watch that video. We also spoke to linebackers coach William Inge as well. Spring practice starts 2 weeks from today.
March 18th.
March 18th.
Right here.
But got to talk to the new guys today, and William Inge got to talk about why he chose Tennessee over Alabama.
Yeah, that was probably one of the things I was interested to see what he would say, because this is a guy that's worked with Kalen DeBoer going back to 2019 at Indiana, went with him to Fresno State, went with him to Washington, where they just played for a national title, and it sounded like he had a chance to go to Alabama along with some other coaches at Washington. Some other coaches aren't in Alabama now. I don't think Inge ever was in Tuscaloosa during this entire time, and then Tennessee came calling. He made it sound like it kind of came about kind of quickly with Tim Banks. He knew Tim Banks from coaching against him at Indiana, crossing paths, recruiting, that kind of thing. And he knew about Tennessee, but certainly he sort of saw this as an opportunity to maybe, I don't say branch out a little bit from DeBoer. He talked about stability being something that he looked at when assessing his options, leaving Washington and figuring out what his next step was going to be. And he's really excited about the opportunity to be here and take over this linebacker room. And he feels like he can help this linebacker room continue to develop, likes having a lot of young guys in there, and thinks that he can help this defense sort of take the next step.
Yeah, very energetic personality. Also reminds you of any professors you may have had in college, maybe a math or a science professor. I don't know if that's the right subject to roll with. But, you know, there's some questions about how will he be able to recruit in the SEC at Tennessee. Speaking for myself, I mean, if I had a son that was being recruited, I would love that personality coming into my living room and hearing him talk about his plan to develop him.
Yeah, we talked to some people about him, and they made it sound like he was maybe not a dynamic personality, but he seemed pretty dynamic up there today.
Yes,
and
in a different way, but definitely
and
dynamic.
I don't know how much he's maybe running on adrenaline. Maybe it'll be a little bit different in a few months when, you know, the grind kicks in and all that kind of stuff. But certainly we had heard he kind of has some sayings and slogans he talked about as a linebacker or as a defensive player. You have to be a fireman. You have to go out there and put out 5-alarm fires and get off the field. That was a question that was asked him about playing defense on the other side of a up-tempo offense. Obviously, at Washington, they scored a lot of points too, so that'll be not something that he has to adjust to. But and he also talked to something I thought was interesting, talking about needing linebackers that you need a well-rounded linebacker room. You need guys that can play in space against some of these teams to get the ball out quick. You need guys that are physical and that can play against the run of the box. And he talked about being able to see, you're going to see a lot of varieties of offense in the SEC, and you have to recruit and build your linebacker room to be able to take that on.
Yeah, he said speed, quick, fast, athleticism. I mean, that was literally his answer.
Yeah.
He said speed 10, 15 times. Who knows? I'll let Wes go back and count up the amount of times if Wes can count that high. But lastly, on the way out the door, a youthful room. You do have Keenan Peely, who is old.
Uncle Grandpa is apparently his name now.
Yeah, he's 26 now, I believe.
Doing some home improvement with the wife this weekend.
Yes,
according to Coach Inge.
Absolutely, and you know it'll be an interesting coaching dynamic for Inge. You've got a lot of developing to do, but you also have a great veteran to lead on in terms of looking to him for leadership.
Yeah, and I think he's going to do that. I think he's going to lean on Peely to sort of be the guy that, as he put it, takes the bull by the horns. But he's also got some young guys that he's excited that he gets to work with for a long period of time. It's not like he's taking over a room with a bunch of seniors that he'd only get to coach for 6 months or so. So he likes taking over some young guys, and he told them, and when they take the field here in a couple weeks, it's going to be a clean slate, and they're just kind of build each other kind of individually at their own different paces and see where they end up.
Absolutely. He's Patrick Brown. I'm Ben McKee, reacting to what new linebackers coach William Inge had to say. One of 2 videos today, so go watch the other one that we're about to record about Darrell Sims.